Learning Zilu Nishmas Etta Ahuva Basra Masechus Bava Basra Perek Gimel Mishna Gimel Kol Chazaka Sheini Matayna Eina Chazaka. We learned in Perek Gimel Mishna Aleph Cheskas Gimel Shanim that if a person has a field for over 3 years without anyone making a machaneh, then he doesn't have to hold on to the shtar. This Mishnah says that he does have to have a taina. As the Mishnah explains, Ketzad Amar Loi Ma'ata Oisa B'Sech Shali. If after 3 years someone comes in to the field and says, "What? It's my field." V'hu Aimer, and the machzik says, "V'hu Aimer Lo Shaloi Amar Li Adam Davar Me'elam." No one told me anything until now, so he has no taina. He's just saying that no one told me anything. I've been on the field. Ain't a chazaka. That's not a chazaka. It has to be that he says, "Shemachartali, you sold it to me. Shenasatali b'matana, you gave it to me as a present. Avicha machrli, your father sold it to me. Avicha nasatali matana, your father gave it to me in matana." So that's a taina. That likuchi biyadi, so then harezu chazaka, that's a chazaka. But if he's saying it that he yarshined it from his father, then he doesn't have to know how his father got the field. Ein it tzarich taina, you need to say nothing more than to say that I got it b'Yerusha. Now the Mishnah says that there are certain types of people that chazaka does not help even though they're on the field. Ha'umnim, which this Rashi explains is actually not talking about a field, because the Uman usually deals with metaltalin. By metaltalin, chazaka is not gimel shanim. Rashi explains by metaltalin, chazaka is right away. You could say that it's mine, except for things that are asuyin lahashel lahasker, things that are normally borrowed. But something that's not normally borrowed, the only reason he has it is obviously because he bought it, even after 1 second would be a chazaka, except by a Uman. If a Uman is working on something, so then it doesn't mean anything that's in his hand. The reason why it's in his hand is because he's working on it. Hashutfin, which the Gemara explains that we're talking about a field that is normally split, and over here he's eating it for that's normally not split. But if a shutuf a field was normally split, so then it would be a raya. If we normally split it, why am I eating it for 3 years straight? Then taka would be a chazaka. But we're talking about over here that shutfin, that it's the derech that I'm on the field now part of the time, you're on the field part of the time, so therefore it's not a chazaka. Harisin, if I'm a sharecropper on it, so it doesn't mean anything, the fact that I'm on the field, so it's not a chazaka. Hapitrapasin, also if he's a guardian of the Yisrael's property, obviously it doesn't mean it's his, he's taking care of the field, and therefore, ein le chazaka, it's not a chazaka. The Mishnah continues, similarly, ein ish chazaka b'nichsei ishtoi, just because the ish is eating the property of his wife, and the Gemara explains that obviously it's not talking about the regular payers, that would be pashut, that's not a raya. But even if he was misalik himself from the payers, he said, din vidvarim mainly b'nichsayach, and he had no right really to be on the field, still we say that's the derech of a wife, that he allows her husband to eat the payers, whether kedin or shaloi kedin, and therefore it's not a chazaka, the fact that he's on the field. Same thing, the isha can't make a chazaka in property of her husband, a father and a son can't make chazakas on each other's property. The Mishnah ends off now something not related to Cheskas Gimel Shanim. Amedvar Murim b'machzik. Everything until now was Cheskas Gimel Shanim. Aval, there's also another thing the Mishnah is now introducing as chazaka to be kind of something. The Mishnah says, Noisei matan, if I give a matana to someone, and this is lav dafka, who adin if I sell something to someone, and I say, Leich chazaik v'kni, go ahead and be kind of this thing, va'achin shecholkan, or brothers are dividing up, or you're making a chazaka m'nichsei ager. Now there's another musik of chazaka that is one of the kinyanim on karka. If you make a chazaka on karka, how do you do that? The Mishnah explains, no, if you lock the field by locking the door in, gadar, you built the fence, paratz, you opened up the fence in order to allow people to go through, kolshu, even if a drop, harezu chazaka, that is a chazaka because you are being miyape the field. Mishnah Dalid, Hayu Shnayim, Ida Noisai, Sha'acha Shalish Shanim, V'nimsu Uzaimim. If there were Edim that were Nimsu Uzaimim, then, just like Kol HaTayr they have to play Kasher Zamim, Mishalman Loi as Hakel, because they caused this person to lose the field, because they said that he had a Chazka Shalish Shanim, and really he didn't. They said Imano Yisim on him, so therefore he has to pay the whole thing. But Shnayim b'Rishayna, Shnayim b'Shniya, Shnayim b'Shlishis, if in each year of the Cheskes Gimel Shanim were 2 different Eidim, so there were 6 Eidim altogether, so then they're Mishalshim Beineim, each one would only pay a third of the price. That's how you would split up the kasher zana. Shloisha achim ve'achar mitzaref imoim. Let's say in each year of the chazaka was one brother, and the second aid in each of those 3 years was another individual. So the 4 people altogether, the 3 brothers, and the 4th person is mitzaref in each of the 3 years. Harei elu shalosh idiyas. It's considered 3 separate idiyas, and therefore it will be considered a chazaka, like in the middle of the Mishnah, like in the beginning of the Mishnah. But over here, hein edis achas lazama. L'gabe hazama, they're considered one hazama. As the Rav explains, they would be mishalshem beineim if they were huzma.